what I've got here are just all my different cameras set up. It is officially calving season. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. It is Monday afternoon and my scale showed up. I did purchase a scale for the barn. So we will unpack that in a little while. And I think I'm gonna go through my cameras and wash them up tonight. Make sure everything's pointed in the right direction. Make sure everything's showing up nice on my phone. All right, so I got my scale that I purchased for weighing calves. I had mentioned we used to do it with a hanging scale. It was a 2-person operation, and I wanted to get a scale that was digital that we could put them on. So I just found one on Amazon. It was like $130. Probably not the greatest quality, but we'll see. But what I want to do is either double side tape a rubber mat on here or get some of that like sticky like grip tape stuff that's almost like sandpaper. That way the calves aren't slipping and sliding all over the place. I'm gonna clean up and make sure all the cameras and everything are pointed in the right direction, they're clean and working properly, and I'll bring you along for that. All right, so we are gonna start with camera number 1. So these cameras are, the brand name is Zmodo, Z-M-O-D-O. So it's just an Amazon brand. I got them, they're like $30 a piece or something like that. And I got them like 3 years ago. I think this is our fourth season using them. They just need a power source and then everything's Wi-Fi. I have a wireless router upstairs in the barn. Next to that white chute where we put the bales down. And I have that bridged to the main router in the house. Since these cameras are down in the barn and we have like 2 to 3 foot thick stone walls, the reception is poor in here. Same with my cell service. It's not always the greatest. My last 2 phones, especially my Pixel, seems to be working just fine in here, but I have had phones in the past that you lose signal when you come in the barn. So I needed that bridge to get a stronger Wi-Fi signal in the barn. So I bridged that Wi-Fi router out here, so it kind of acts as a booster and extender. And then my cameras connect to that connects to the house. So that was a long explanation. Hopefully you guys can see this. Hopefully it's not too blurry. What I've got here are just all my different cameras set up, and I've named them like 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is basically going along the barn. So that's 1, and then 2 is over there. 3 is back there by the the green gate pen, the one I said we really like to calve in, and then 4 covers the very far back pen that 75 is in right now. And then this system, I have it set up so I do not have like a DVR backup right now. It just is live picture. So for this camera, we'll turn this on. We'll just hit that, and it's connecting. Hopefully, there we are. And then like this, it's always showing in landscape mode. If I double tap, it'll kind of zoom in. And that's me looking at my phone with my camera. I can double tap again, zoom out. And if I rotate my screen on my phone, it'll go into landscape mode there too and fill it up. And then I can zoom in. So there we are. But I can notice, if you notice like in the upper, right at the end of my thumb there, it's kind of blurry. That's because the lens is dirty. And I don't necessarily like how the picture is or it's pointing. All right, we'll just set it right here. I can see it. And then I have a little tightener screw right here, but sometimes this is loose enough that I can move it anyways. And then I just kind of move it around so I get the picture that I want. So for the most part, what I want is I want to maximize my view. I want to see this corner down here, and then I want to see straight down here, but then I want to be low enough. If you see on here, you can see the beam. You can see the bottom edge of the beam. The further I point it down, the more I can get down into this corner. I just took a wet chunk of rag, and there's a little bit of a lag. There's probably like a 3 second lag on here. So it's not super bad. But all I did is I just took a wet rag and just kind of cleaned up on the lens, and then the surrounding, those little dots on the outside are the IR part of it, the infrared for at night. So we're gonna go around, do the rest of them. So this is actually camera 3. What is camera 3? It also kind of corresponds with our pens. Like we'll say that this is pen 3, that's pen 2, and pen 1. So it correlates with the cameras. So I already know that this is pretty dirty, so I'm just gonna clean it right away. All right, and we'll get out the phone. So maybe it's hard to see, but this is how this one looks. The beam on the top here becomes a little bit more of a problem, and we also want to get to be able to see this corner a little bit better. So again, this might be another spot where trying out one of those newer cameras that can rotate better would be beneficial. Because what'll happen is a cow will stick her butt right in this corner, and it really pisses us off when we're trying to watch and see what's going on. But this is pretty good because I want to be able to see along this gate line. I don't want to be any further to the alley. I want to be able to see along this gate line and then as far down as I can. So I can come down a little bit further, and that's probably about good. And then I'll just tighten up my screw a little bit, and we'll move on to the next one. Camera 4 is back here. So again, we'll check it on the phone. That'll work. All right, so I cleaned that one up. This one gets a little bit tricky, but we'll go to camera 2. Okay, so this one can go a little bit to the left.
Hello, Wisconsin!
Do we want sauteed onions for our burgers? I prefer raw onions. All right, that was an important question. This one I want to be able to see from right on this post line here, but then it's nice because it goes all the way back here. Okay, so that takes care of all the ones in the barn. We do have 2 cameras outside. One I've labeled as outside west, and that is, well, it's the farthest west camera. The outside camera is this guy. And then outside west is literally right around that corner. And this one, I had to play around with this one a few months ago. So it should already be set and ready to go. And it is pretty set and ready to go. Yeah, that's just a quick view on how our camera's set up. Hey, how's it going? Dad's hauling manure. We got everything ready, and he's gotten a few loads done today. And he's hauling out from where we actually feed the cows. While he's hauling a load, then I'll feed. And it looks like he's gotten a couple loads out of here, which is really nice. That really helps their area out. And it also gives us a chance to use the 44, which Dad said, I am not hauling in even mildly cold weather this year if I've got a tractor with a cab and heat. I didn't disagree with him. So now that the heifers are in the barnyard, one nice thing is we give them a little bit of ground feed, and I mean just a little bit. I mean, they are almost full grown, but we like to make sure that they're eating. You know, they're obviously going to eat a little bit better in here. We want them coming after ground feed as kind of a lure if we needed to. But the nice thing is I can come in here then and get a nice lineup and check out how things are going. And I think this one right here is our state of war. Not only is her bag coming along, but she's also getting kind of floppy in the back end. which is a really, really nice sign. But everybody in here is actually coming along. Hey, how's it going? It is Tuesday afternoon, and today is a good day. It is officially calving season. This is our first calf of the year 2024. A very small heifer calf. Mom spit it out like a dime. She did a really, really nice job. I watched her at work on the cameras. She had it outside, right out in front of the doors. It is our number 75, our State of War. And this is the Genex Bold Ruler. So this is our second Bold Ruler calf. And that thing's got to be 60 pounds maybe. Little heifer calf. So maybe a little small actually. Heifer did her job. Bold Ruler did his job. And I'm happy. That thing was standing within 15 minutes. And I think it was sucking within 30. So awesome. She is spunky. Super spunky. Now, the downside of today, I have to crawl my happy butt back up here because we're having moisture issues again. And we think it's because when we ground, that because of how much humidity and all the snow melt and everything, that corn took up a lot of moisture, and now we're paying for it. Might have to look at if we should get more of that moisture binding agent. But Dad's still hauling manure, and he just freed up the loader tractor. So instead of going up there, thankfully, I'm gonna go feed the cows their bale of hay. Hey, how's it going? It is Thursday afternoon. Happy Friday Eve. Just coming in, doing our check of the new kid on the block. She seems to be doing really good. Mom's got a nice little bag there. But we got that fixed. We got some snow last night. We got like 2 inches. I didn't really plow anything. I just because it was kind of slushy stuff, I kind of cleaned up at the end of the lane and then end of my driveway. I'm back in the barn because what I'm going to do is hook up that timer that we had, this little guy, so that we can turn on our, what we call our night lights, just to help us out with the cameras. Okay, program. It's going to come on at 6, and it's going to go off at 7 a.m. Okay, so honestly, that's spot on. Okay, we got that hooked up. So now the lights are going to come on. This guy came on. This guy came on. So that's how bright it is with the regular lights on. So then this is what it looks like just light-wise with having just the lights on. The other thing though too is we actually have, and they're right above the door, right there, and they're 2 floodlights that kind of cover this area, and it brightens this up. And I will actually show you on my phone what it looks like. And it's probably pretty hard to see. Honestly, I got to get the lens on this thing, and the resolution isn't matching, obviously. But what you can tell is you can see all the way out to the border, which is right underneath my thumb. You can kind of see that white line. And then if I come into, like, say, camera 1, which is the first one. So this one actually does come into color, because you can see all the corn stalks. You can see Barb way on the end, or is that Cora? No, that is Barb. You can see Barb way on the end, right at the tip of my thumb. All right, so then let's see what camera 3 looks like, the one where the new calf is. So it's dark enough back there where it'll throw it into IR. It's still black and white, but it's very clear, very bright. So that is why we throw the night lights on. Oh, and she's getting sassy. She wants to come in and eat. But that is why we throw the night lights on, so that when myself or Dad get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, we can roll over, check the cameras. Today we're probably gonna be tagging that calf. So I got the tag made up. So she is gonna be KM75. Don't critique the handwriting. My penmanship is horrible. We've got a BR on the top. So that stands for bold ruler. So the sire is up on top. K is the letter from the cow. So K was that cow's year letter. And then this year is M. 75 is kind of the ongoing family number. So when you look at our tags, you look at numbers, 75s are kind of related, 431s are kind of related. That's our family tree. Some guys will carry a name on or a number sequence or something like that. So ours are 75s. And actually, neat little story about 75s. 75s is the only one that I can trace. Personally, I can trace all the way back to the originals that Dad had purchased. Originally starting with going back to our cow Tinkerbell. And that's kind of a name that we as a family know. But then the other thing to note too is yellow tags. All females get yellow tags. And this is kind of my bin of stuff. So we've got the bander in there. I've got all my tags. I've got some bands. And then we've got iodine. We'll spray their navel down with that to help it dry out. And also disinfect anything that's already gotten onto the navel. And then we've got our Start Strong. Even though she was up and rip-roaring ready to go within a half an hour and got a good meal in her already, we'll still give her that to help prevent scours and other things like that. So we'll still give that to her. So we got the heifer tagged. She's got her tag on. She was a whopping 64 pounds. It is Friday. Call us the end of the day, end of the video, end of the week. Hope you guys liked the video. Please comment, like, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for coming along.